she's willing to come in a relationship, go into a relationship. This is what I perceive. This is my only thoughts on it. She's willing to go into a relationship 100%. Hey, but I just want someone to love me and to do it the right way. So what do you say to that?
I totally agree with that. It's not like she's looking for someone to take care of
Take
her,
care of
to
her.
rescue her, or anything
Oh,
like
wow.
that. No, she
Wow.
has something that she has accomplished and she wants to share that with someone.
Do you think that this is because men may not commit to her? Is because she have established so much?
It's a possibility.
Do you feel that could it possibly be that she herself presents herself at a particular standard, and maybe men are afraid of it or have a fearful, this narrative about strong women, but of course we don't use the narrative strong women, but we refer to women of strength.
Correct.
Does that cause a lot of men to be afraid to commit? Is it possible that? And if it is, how can you explain that? Why?
That is possible because when you're independent like that, when you have already gone before and made your way, you know, you have established, educated yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have gone into your career, started your career, so they could be, how you say, like inferior,
Intimidated.
yeah, intimidated,
Mm-hmm.
intimidated by what you have built. But I don't get that from her. Like she's not coming off like,
Right. Right.
right.
I
I,
would say that.
I don't get that from her.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of being intimidated by what she present, how about you just step up to the plate?
Right.
You come up.
I got another video that I think would definitely speak to that 100%. But I want to just take a moment just to go down a bunny trail, because again, I want to thank all of you who watch and support A Father's Note. And as I've stated and I've said over time since we've been doing this, is that this is a show that has been established for men, a platform that has been established for men. However, though, so the question may come up, you may be asking the question, well, why do we continue, or why have we been on the topic of relationship, of marriage, and to in all respect to it, we got to realize that even fathers, even husbands, even men, they play a vital part in that.
Yes.
In marriage, in relationships. And we want to, listen, let's just put it all aside and let's be realistic about it. We know if most of you, if you spend any time on social media, and you see a lot of, or let's say even in people in your circle, whether or not it be family, friends, or associates, you see or you hear stories of relationships that are not doing well. Relationships where either, the woman don't have no problem divorcing her husband, and the husband don't have any issues divorcing his wife, and it's just dysfunction after dysfunction.
Right.
And I can tell you that is an area in which that you really don't want to travel. It may seem to be good and okay, at the outset of you divorcing each other, or you breaking up your family, and your children going with the mother, and you going on about your way as a man, but it doesn't pay out. I'm telling you,
not.
the consequences of it does not add up.
Correct.
And I'm going to tell you now, those of you may have already been on that road, and you may say to yourself, hey, you know what? I'm living fine. I'm glad I got out of that relationship. He was this or she was that, what have you. But especially if children are involved, no, it's not over. It's not over. And why do I say that? Why am I saying this? I'm saying it because it's what I experienced, and it's what I myself have gone through and going through. And I just want, with the help of my wife, with the support of my wife, we together just want to spread the message that would be informative to so many of you who may be either just contemplating that thought of, you know what, let me just do this my way. I'm tired, or, I can't take this no more, whether or not you're male or female. And we just want to just give encouragement to many of you who, may be in an area right now. We got to save our relationships.
We do.
And I'm not saying that we can do it, but, we got to have the conversations that a lot of you want to have. And you're afraid to, because you may feel that, well, I don't want people in my business. I don't want people to know that I'm going through what I'm going through. Well, they're going to know anyway.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
but I like what she stated. Like, if you haven't put a ring on it, you have no claim to me.
Again, it's about men committing, but then why they don't commit? Why are they afraid to commit? A lot of them, they want the trophy, but they don't want to put in the work to obtain the trophy.
Correct.
They don't, so let me play this other video, because this video here really just tells it all. And it may shed some light on why men don't commit to women such as herself. We was in a conversation.
Or just women in general. I mean, I've spoken to many of coworkers, girlfriends that are single, and they want a commitment. They want a lasting relationship. They want a partner that they can do life with. But they said, the narrative that's out there, these men out here are trash. Trash. That's what they were saying.
Wow. That's
what I'm hearing. Trash.
That's a strong statement. Thank you, Ms. Dumerville. She said that this is a platform to share and to heal and to grow. Absolutely. And we're praying and hoping that it's doing just that. Okay, she also wrote this comment. It's okay to have a standard. A solid woman must have standards that set her apart. That's true.
Very true.
That's true. That's true. We've seen so many cases of, again, social media, how women present themselves, and it's not kosher. It's not kosher, shall I say? But you should have some standards. You should have. I think every man, the thought just came to me. I was just getting ready to say that every man looking for a woman with standards, but maybe also a lot of men have been hurt by women as well. And they have this fear of really committing, connecting with other people.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to play this other video?
Yeah.
Or you got something you want to add, say?
Oh, you know what I did want to say?
Talk to us, baby.
I wanted to say this. I thought this was profound. It says, never do wife duties as a girlfriend.
Ooh.
As girlfriend status. Never do wife duties as girlfriend status. And I know a lot of us are guilty of it.
Wow.
But when you know better, you do better. So we have to teach our young ladies to, number one, have standards about themselves, have respect for themselves, right? We have to teach them the right way and not the wrong way. We need to call back the Titus 2 women. We need to call them back. They need to get back in their place so we can teach our young women. Because a lot of them are not being taught. Some are just, going rogue, doing their own thing. But a lot of them were never taught.
What I've heard of is that a lot of, especially older women now,
Mhm.
I heard somebody say this, a brother say this. You got mothers competing with their daughters for the same man.
And it's true.
So then how can there be any separation or be any difference? Somewhere that what you just said had been lost.
Mhm.
And therefore, we have women that don't want to be taught.
That's
You
true.
you take a person such as my mother. I believe that there is such a big gulf between women of her time and women today.
Oh,
So
yes.
if they were to hear her, uh, or if she was to give advice to them as to how a woman should present themselves, how
Mhm.
the standards, such as what Taraji was talking about, that you got to stand for something or you fall for anything, as those cliches
Absolutely.
saying. They wouldn't want to hear anything or receive anything from her.
But that's why we as mothers, we have to, even if you're not a natural mother, you have something in you that these young ladies need. And we have to teach them. You have to start that from an early age, from early onset. You have to begin to groom them, shape them, and mold them.
Okay, so let me ask you a question there. When you say teach, mold, groom, what does that look like?
Number one, especially when they get to that dating age, they need to know that their goodies, it's a treasure.
True.
It's a treasure, right?
True.
And you should not exchange your treasures for a happy meal. And
Wow.
that's what a lot of them are doing. They're exchanging their treasure for a happy meal,
So
for a number one
Okay.
with cheese.
okay, so you yourself raised 3 daughters
Yes.
until I came along. I
Correct.
just put the icing on the cake. Yeah.
Yes.
But okay, just tell us the standards in which that you establish. Talk to the ladies as the approach that you took raising your daughters, that when they were at the ages of before I came along.
I think when you came, the
And
youngest one was 10.
Was 10. Yeah.
So that would have made the other Teresa, I think she was in high school, right?
High school
About to go to
or going on
college.
the way to college.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Bree was in middle going to high.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and
So-
Talisha was 10.
Okay, so what was that standard that you took with them? You
How
being
to
a mother.
carry themselves,
You
how
got
to dress.
be specific, because a lot of mothers out there maybe not know what that is like, and they have daughters
But then
themselves.
they have to know. They have to know you can't live a certain way in front of your children.
Whoa.
You can't do that.
So you have to practice what you preach.
For sure. Like I dated,
Mm-hmm.
but my daughters didn't know I dated.
So you kept them out of the loop.
I kept them totally out of the loop. They actually only knew one person
Mm-hmm.
that I dated. And that's because when I thought it was going to become something, it
Right.
was serious, that's when I introduced them, but never ahead of time. No.
Okay. Okay.
So she's right. Model. I modeled the way for them. I didn't wear, dress loosely.
Mm-hmm.
I always dress modestly.
So what? Okay. So let's talk about that dress modestly. Now, because if we go back, let me see if I can pull it up here. Let me see here.
Just don't.
That's a nice dress. I mean, it's not a great best picture, but look at. Let me see if I can. Let's see what we can get here. Right. So she's not all made up. She's clean looking, not full of tats.
She's made up.
What I mean, though, yeah, of course she has no makeup. Look at the dress.
Mm-hmm.
You
And the
know,
shoes.
she looks
She's dressed appropriately.
okay. She's professional looking,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And still, even in that style of dressing,
Mm-hmm.
she still has a modest look, an appealing look.
Yes.
No, that attractive.
Very.
Okay. So, but why do women feel that they have to
Have everything on display?
have everything out? Why do they feel that? I saw I'm rolling down Wynwood, and I saw this young lady. Buttocks all out. That's all. You might always say she had on nothing but strictly panties and a tank top. She was busty and well endowed in the buttocks. And she's strolling down Wynwood like it's okay. Like it's so then, but you want a man to respect you. You want a man to look at you, to hold you to a high standard, but yet look at how you present yourself.
They looking for attention. When they dress like that, they are looking for attention. And then when they get the wrong attention, then they want to yell, scream, this, that. But you have it on display.
Go back though and talk about modeling what you instill in your daughters. What you say that mothers out there should know. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were not taught, how can they teach?
That's where the Titus 2 women come into play. You have to get a mentor, and your mentor should be that Titus 2 woman, that Titus 2. Yes, you need a mentor. If you weren't taught, there were some things that I was not taught growing up.
Okay.
But when I got around certain women and I saw that they possessed what I knew I was missing, I latched on to that. I learned from that. So that's what I did. I taught them. Now, mama taught me the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she did. But I needed to go a step
You needed
further.
more.
Yes. And I needed to make sure that my daughters possessed those things, those characteristics. I did not want them out there. And number one, when it comes to the dress code, you're in control of that because you're the parent. You're the one that's providing the clothing.
So don't buy them anything that you know is inappropriate for them to be wearing out.
Oh, no.
And especially when they get of dating age.
Correct.
Right?
Because now, again, you're going to draw that attention to yourself.
Okay,
and that's not the attention you want.
Okay, but let me ask you this though. But here it is though. You have young ladies today. They want to dress like the in crowd. They want to dress like their peers. They want to dress like those who they see at school and what have you.
Listen, my daughters were fashion plates. They were.
Wow. Hold on. Y'all heard that new phrase, fashion plates. Where that came from?
They love to dress, especially the oldest one. This young lady, she would want at least a month worth of school clothes when school first started. I'm like, wait a minute, you got sisters. Oh yeah, but they wear uniform. They're okay. So she had to have matching outfits, matching shoes, matching purses, everything matching. But again, it was not anything loose. It was not anything so tight that you could see this, that. It wasn't so short. No.
You governed.
Yes, sir.
You governed.
Yes, sir.
What they had, what they
when
wear.
we went shopping, you came out that fitting room with everything. Okay, everything I sent you in there with, I knew what it looked like. If that was too tight, we need a next size up. Come on.
Miss Fillmore says you can still dress fashionably, but still be covered and appropriate.
Of course.
I hope that
and look at this one, that comment.
Right here? Since your girls had a praying villager.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. And she didn't play. Gwyneth, she didn't play with that.
Yeah, she says that women dress like that to get attention of a man.
That is so true.
I
That's
guess
what they're doing.
when you look at Taraji and you look at, we had talked about what her name, the young lady, with the usher, Kiki.
Kiki Palmer.
What happened? What happened?
Yeah.
So, all right, but anyway, we're talking about no ring, no claim.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So getting with men that want a commitment, but they don't want a covenant with you.
Right.
Okay, let's say
they just want the contract.
They want
the contract can be broken at any time.
Okay, they want the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Listen to this comments. Our young ladies need that kind of modest guidance today.
Yes.
But again, as you're saying, it needs to come from the church. Is that what you're saying, or
it needs to come from home first?
From home. Oh, wow.
It needs to come from home. And then if you're not getting it there, you should have your children in church. So if you're lacking, then some of the mothers or some of the sisters that's close to you can step in and say, hey, you need to get that together.
Titus 2:3 says, older women likewise are to be reverent in behavior. Wow. Mm-hmm. Now listen, we could.
Woo! Yes, right there.
We can start right there.
You need to read the whole thing.
Oh my God. Let me see here. Yeah. Older women likewise are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers or slaves to much wine. They are to teach what is good, and so train the young women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, and submissive to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be reviled. Likewise, urge the younger men to be self-controlled. Okay, that's another subject.
No, but that's important as well. Yes, we are grooming our young ladies, but the young men need to be groomed as well.
True.
And that's where the fathers, a father's note, the fathers have to step in and do their part. Because if the young men did not approach the young women that way, okay, so if they come in with the, trying to get to the next base, wait a minute. And if we instill what we needed to instill in the young women, they have to know from the beginning, from the very beginning, what she stands for, right? Her standards. We're talking about the standards. So if the young men know the young women's standard from the get-go, he would know automatically, hey, I ain't getting nowhere with this.
And then having a father figure, that young lady having a father figure around, what that does, they reinforce that standard of that daughter, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but we said that, you made a comment that you're here where a lot of your coworkers, they're saying that most men are trash, right?
Yes.
And again, we talked about how that, most men, they don't want to commit. And it's possibly when you see women such as Taraji and others, they don't want to commit to them because they don't want to, either it's because it possibly be because they are afraid, they are intimidated by those standards. Because, and listen, let me tell you something. This next video is going to pretty much explain it all, going to tell it all. It really
is. But before you go there, read that comment there.
Okay. I'll put this one up. It says, Ms. Jones said, oh, yeah, set the standard from the jump. Absolutely.
Mrs. Jones.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Listen, that's my baby. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Who waited? Who mocked? Listen. Mr. Jones knew he could not come to her any old kind of way. He knew that. Why? Because it was already instilled in her.
Yeah. Yeah. And
the same with Mr. Thomas.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was reinforced.
Yes.
And it was reinforced.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. Okay. This comment here says that especially if there's a two-parent household, both parents should be on the same page concerning this, and fathers have to reinforce their identity. That's a good point right there.
Mm-hmm.
And say, no, you're not wearing that. Absolutely.
Ooh. And he did it.
Yeah.
Hey, where is the rest of that fabric?
I ask all the time.
Where's the rest of that fabric?
It wasn't that you couldn't afford it. If you needed more money to afford the rest of that fabric, you could have asked me. You know, but no, you need to take that back where you got it from. It's missing something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm not even, and like, okay, like this comment here, my husband has cut up many pieces of clothing that we didn't buy. You know, well, I ain't gonna say I cut them up, but I sure enough let them know I didn't approve of it.
But they knew they could not walk out the house like that. So if they were seen in the streets with that, you better believe they snuck it out.
Yeah, you know,
we didn't really have to deal with that too much.
But I also want to make a point that, and most of those who are watching, they knows me. You don't have to be my daughter, but if you come in my presence, and if your hair is not right, or you got on something jacked up or whatever, or you looking hoochie mama, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know.
He does, y'all.
No, that's not appropriate. You know, you don't want to put all there is about you on display. You know,
Correct.
You don't want to be eye candy to some jokers, to every joker that come across your path. You don't want to be on window shopping. Mm-hmm. No, some items that if you really want to say, you got to go inside the store and you got to search around. You got to look for it. They don't. Let me leave that alone. That's another subject anyway.
Go to the next video.
All right, I'm gonna play this next video. I think this sums up everything here.
Listen, so I'm going to give you something very profound from Genesis that's going to help a lot of women that have been asking why that man isn't ready. So in Genesis, it says that when God saw that Adam was working, cultivating, and in relationship with him, then he said it's not good for that man to be alone. And then he put him to sleep. He took out a rib, and then he closed the womb, and then he presented the woman to him. So perhaps reason number one that man isn't ready is because he's not working, he's not cultivating, he's not in relationship with God, and God still wants him to be alone. Or reason number two could be that perhaps he is cultivating, working, and in a relationship with God, but maybe the womb isn't closed. Maybe he's still unhealed. Reason number three could very well be because he's cultivating, working, and in relationship with God, the womb has been closed, but you are not the woman that God has presented to him. Therefore, he can't declare out of his mouth, bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Whew.
She said a mouthful. Listen. She said a mouthful. Whew.
I gotta play that again, y'all. Listen, she said it. Let's play it again. I'm gonna pause it and respond to some of the things that she said.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
Listen, so I'm going to give you something very profound from Genesis that's going to help a lot of women that have been asking why that man isn't ready. So in Genesis, it says that when God saw that Adam was working, cultivating, and in relationship with him, then he said it's not good for that man to be alone.
Okay, right there.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be working. He had to be cultivating, and he had to be in relationship
with God. And what was that you said a couple weeks ago? If you're
in a relationship with a man who is not in pursuit of God,
mm-hmm.
then you are in a wrong relationship.
Correct.
Or no, I said that relationship is already doomed from the beginning.
Correct.
Right from the start. He has to have a relationship with God.
Yes.
And if you have standards, ladies,
Mhm.
if you have standards, you would, that's one of the things that you would definitely make sure that is on the table. He does not have to and
know the
let me
Bible from Genesis
thank
to
you. He
Revelation.
doesn't. You know, he doesn't have to be one of those who preach like Jakes or Keon or Shambach or whoever. No, but if he's in pursuit of a relationship with God,
Mhm.
okay, then it's a possibility that he is a man. Number one, the reason that is important because then you can say that he's a man who has his life in order.
Right.
But yet still though, even if he has a relationship with God, he still has to be working.
Yes.
He has to be cultivating.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's one other thing that she pointed out there. And I have come to the realization that we cannot put this aside.
Mhm.
And and it's going back to the conversation that you and I had. You asked me, well, I was in church. Why did I have so many relationships, so many marriages, what have you?
Right.
And my words to you was that I still was broken.
Right.
This is why it didn't matter whether or not I was in church in Christ or what
Mhm.
have you.
Mhm.
I was still broken because I had not healed from the pain in
Correct.
which that I had been carrying for all those years.
Correct.
So because of that, and I don't care how
You getting ahead of yourself
I am.
because we still on.
You're right, sweetie. Thank you, love.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna pick someone. So you saying play the rest of it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Then
great.
he put him to sleep. He took out a rib, and then he
We back that up a little
says
bit.
that when
Okay.
God saw that Adam was working, cultivating, and in relationship with him, then he said it's not good for that man to be alone. And then he put him to sleep. He took out a rib, and then he closed the womb, and then he presented the woman to him. So perhaps reason number one that man isn't ready is because he's not working, he's not cultivating, he's not in relationship with God, and God still wants him to be alone.
Now you know.
Yes.
Now you know why he won't put a ring on his finger because
Mhm.
he ain't ready.
He's not ready.
And he knows that within himself. He's not ready.
Mhm.
Let's continue.
Or reason number two could be that perhaps he is cultivating, working in a relationship with God, but maybe the womb isn't closed.
That was a deep comment
Yes.
right there.
Yep.
And that's going back to what I was saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was working. I had a relationship with God. I was cultivating, being productive.
Mhm.
And some of the words, when you talk about the word cultivated, some of the things that could apply to that, I'm being a father to my children.
Yes.
I'm doing all that I can to take care of my family, to provide for my
Mhm.
family, but yet still I'm hurt.
Yes.
Yet still I got wounds. Yet
Mhm.
still I need healing.
Mhm.
And unless I address that,
Mhm.
I'm gonna always be loving from a place from hurt.
Right.
I should have anyway. You got something you want to add on that?
No, I agree.
Okay.
Maybe he's still unhealed. Reason number three could very well be because he's cultivating, working, and in relationship with God. The womb has been closed, but you are not the woman that God has presented to him. Therefore, he can't declare out of his mouth, bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Whew.
You are not the woman that God presented to him. A lot of times we want the person. We want this man. But that's not the man that God has for us.
And I think a lot of
I'm a witness.
Mhm.
I'm
And I think a
witness.
lot of them do that because they are settling. I think men and women today are settling
lonely.
because they're lonely,
Yep.
because they say they're incomplete even within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Miss Fillmore said here, let me see. Amen. He can't be a hobosexual. Someone
hobo.
looking for a place to live for free and dependent on the woman.
Woo.
I see
Come on,
women
ma'am.
nowadays want to propose to men. This is wrong.
That is wrong.
Can't play house, you all. And this is what Taraji was saying. She refused to play house.
Correct.
If you want me, put a ring on it.
Yep.
And if you want this body, then let's
For the
establish
ring.
a covenant with God.
Correct.
Let's get married.
Yes.
You know, it's not settled, but yet still, you got to look and want to be with someone who has the qualities that are being reflected in these videos here.
Yes.
You got anything else you want to add, Ray?
Oh, I just want to piggyback on Apostle Jonas has said today, change your mindset. And it goes back to what you were saying. Maybe you weren't taught that at home. But if you want better, you must change your mindset. The Bible tells us we have to renew our mind, and we got to do that daily.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want that, if we're in pursuit of that, we have to change our mindset, change the way we think pertaining to relationships.
But what can be said, what can be done to encourage women to wait, not be impatient with being alone, being by themselves, feeling, or I hear this a lot, well, you know, my clock is ticking and time is running out. What do you say to them women, those women?
It may sound cliche, but it's the truth. And I just say, wait on the Lord. Wait on the Lord.
What does
you
that
don't
look
want to
like?
you don't want to go out there and make things happen yourself, because when you do that, you get in all kind of trouble. You end up with a buster. You end up with a mess. And then, you know, we got to turn to God and ask God to fix it. But if we wait on the Lord, if we be about God's business, make your request known to him. He already know, but he want to hear from us. So make your request known to him. And then get in the things of him. Let the man find you in God.
But you know, we have people out there that, ladies, shall I say, that don't pursue God. They may know of him, but to hear a person such as yourself tell ladies, you know, you need to wait on God. What would that look like to them?
This is what I did. I was in a relationship before I got this guy, before the Lord blessed me with him.
Woo-hoo.
And after that, when that relationship ended, I threw myself into the Lord. I got tired because obviously I wasn't making right choices. I am not professing to be a saint or anything of that nature. I made a lot of mistakes in the relationship field. I really did. But it was an older woman who encouraged me to seek the Lord.
Titus 2 mother, huh?
Yes,
2
she
woman.
was. Yes, she was. Oh my God. And once I got into studying the word, you know, spending time in the word, Bible study. I mean, just really knowing God, getting to know God and his character, getting to know his nature, getting to know who he was. And in doing that, I began to learn who I was. So I just found myself working in ministry, just doing God's work. And that's how we met. That's how we met. So I would encourage you all, ladies, single ladies, get into the things of God. Get to know the Father. And let him bring the man to you. Let him present you to the man. Let him present you to the man.
So now what I'm hearing, and I'm going to put this this comment up on the screen, because then I'm gonna say what I'm hearing.
Women need God first, then they need to be around godly women who are real and solid. Women who are being intentional about their life and making good choices for my life.
So when I think about it, and I can also, apply this to men as well. But we're talking about women tonight and those who want to be in a relationship. If what you have been doing hasn't worked,
If it's not
if
working,
it's not working, if you find yourself, you think you found a good man, you're in a good relationship, and then next thing you know, it seems good and it crash and burn, then maybe it's important based on what the comment that I had just put up by Ms. Dumerville and what you have said, babe. You got to get in God. And I like how you phrased yourself. You said that you got lost in him. You embedded yourself in him, and then you got around godly women. You got active in the church. And I think that if you take those, I don't know, I'm not a woman, but I can only speak from a man's perspective, that if you are doing those things, right, it'll take your mind maybe give you some, the urge may not be as strong, huh?
The urge.
The urge to be in a relationship. You can still have that desire, but are we saying that you must keep yourself preoccupied? Y'all help me out here. I'm just
definitely.
trying.
I totally agree with that.
Ms. Jones says that it is the only way. Developing a relationship with God builds your character and prepares you for marriage at the same time. Wow.
Wow, that's powerful.
Wow. When you're in his hand, he takes care of everything. You don't even have to chase it. Thank you for that, Mrs. Jones. That is true. Well, she knows. She lived it and walked it. But we have so many women, they won't change, but yet still you're giving them advice and they won't yield to it. They still buck away from it.
Yes.
So
look what Miss Dumerville put. Says he will even take that urgency away when you submit it to him.
Is that a hard thing? Just
in the beginning it was, but all you had to do was submit it to him. I didn't ask him to take it away from me.
Wow.
Because you're going to need it when he blesses you with the mate, with your spouse. So I didn't ask him to take it away from me. I just asked him to keep me, to help me keep myself.
My God, I hope this is helping somebody. Baker said, and it fills the void that one may be feeling.
Yes, Lord.
So then, in Taraji's place, based on what she's saying, looking for someone to put a ring on it. And I'm not talking Beyonce, y'all, okay? And I think in what she's saying, but maybe if Taraji was here, maybe we would say to her, okay, you know what, Taraji, you had the right mindset. But if you're looking for the right man, then you need to look to God.
Yes, definitely. Because he knows what we need. He knows what he wants. He knew that I needed this guy, right? Because all those other ones that I thought was it, they just weren't it. But he came. God brought me to him. Literally brought me to him.
True. So I wasn't looking. I was asleep, y'all.
Neither one of us.
Let me put this up. Miss Jones said that seek the kingdom first. Seek his heart first. He'll present you at the perfect time.
At the perfect time.
So I think it's coming down to the fact that learn how to listen, ladies. If there's a senior woman that is willing to invest in you, invest time in you, invest words of wisdom in you, maybe it's important that you take heed and listen, because that may be the shortest and the quickest path to what you are looking and desire in a mate.
Absolutely.
Because if you're doing it yourself, trust me, you're going to run into a lot of dead ends, detours. You're going to have to backtrack.
Yep.
You're going to have to pull on the side of the road and go to sleep, take a nap, and get some rest because you're exhausted from chasing. But what I'm hearing tonight is that they're saying, hey, pursue God. Pursue God. Pursue God. Yeah. So, yeah. Got anything you want to add, babe?
No, I think I'm good.
I think you're good. You are good.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, my love. Hey, I don't know what this may, what this may be to some of you all. Hopefully, we just here just to share conversation and a word.
Shed the light.
And shed the light.
Shine that light.
So, the ladies, don't settle.
Settle.
That's one of the things that we can say tonight.
Yeah.
Don't settle. You
settle.
don't have to settle. You said in the beginning, hey, you are a jewel. You're precious.
Yes.
You don't have to give up your body. That's the most valuable thing when you talk about sex. That is the most valuable thing that a woman possesses. Why? Because she possesses. I want to use the right word. A woman possesses. Oh God, I wish my vocabulary was better right now. She possesses that which gives life. Something that gives life. Life.
Yes.
Just think about it.
Yes.
Your body produces life.
Correct.
So why give that to someone who want to be mined and who want to be valued?
Right. Devalue.
Devalue your body. That what God created you to give life, to bring life. Why subjected to that?
You don't have to.
Hey, again, if you don't value you, ladies, you cannot expect another man to value you.
Correct.
You don't have to settle. You don't have to compromise. Yes.
And if you see signs that this man is still asleep, you better run.
Well,
run.
Well, I was asleep.
Out of everything.
All right now.
Okay.
I hear your stuff.
No, I'm being real. I'm being good.
As Baker says, a man don't settle. God is willing and able to help you more than the lie of the sensation. You are feeling and being presented. God. Reveal said, let him sleep.
That's it. Because God's still working on it.
And that's a great point.
God is still working on him. That's why he said in her video, she said he needs to be alone. He still needs to be alone because he hasn't done those three things.
He's not complete.
He's not complete.
And it's important. It's so important. I want to say this. I married multiple times, attempting to do it my way. But when I let it go, when I made up my mind, when I got to the place, I'm going to say this for most men. and I'm going to say it to the men. You must be in a place where it's that you know how to live as a man without a woman. Because for a long time, I felt that I had to have a woman in order to live as a man, until God showed me differently. And so once I got to that place, that mindset, first of all, hey, listen, this is what I need to create about myself. That's one thing, that I did not need a woman in order to live as a man. The other factor in my life that I needed was that, as what she was saying, the wound that was in my side, I had to let that heal. That needed to heal first before I can move on. And I'm led to say this, we're going to wrap this up. I'm led to say this. Most men who struggle with themselves, most men who struggle with relationships, most men, it is because they don't have, now look at this, now listen to what I'm about to say. They don't have a relationship, not only with the spiritual father, but with their natural father. And it's vitally important that they have that relationship.
Correct.
And it's not so much always about knowing who their father is. They can know who their father is and still not have a relationship with them. They can know of their father. And I've had conversations so much with so many young men that I've noticed that there's a trend with this as far as men not having a relationship with a sound relationship with their father, their biological father. And you can say whatever, this hurts. That's a pain, that's a wound that definitely needs to be healed in their life. But anyway, we can go on about that. But hey, listen, we want you all to know we love you. We pray that we've said something tonight that definitely has encouraged and inspire you. If you don't mind, if you think it not robbery, please share, like, comment this post, this broadcast tonight, as well as those of you who may be watching on YouTube. We're here to help. And we also want to add that if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss, we don't consider ourselves to be relationship gurus, but that what we know, we share it from what we know as far as the Word of God, as well as our own personal life experiences. So we just want to be a helper to all of you, those of you, because I am looking and praying, we are praying and believing that all relationships will be restored and will be governed according to God's divine will. And that is what we're striving to do here. On the Father's note, do you have any final saying, sweetie?
Did have a couple people send in a few topics. One was raising adult children.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna see what that looks like.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Things men find attractive and unattractive in women. And things women find attractive and unattractive in men. That ought to be a good conversation.
Yeah.
I like this one. Can you take correction from your wife? Hey, we gotta go. Hey, listen, we love you all, and we will see you all next week. Okay?
Good night. Love you.
Good night. Love you all. God bless you.